I call Marie Todd to be followed by Mike Rumbles.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. Trade unions are a vital part of our society, and like most people in Scotland, I recognise the importance of trade unions to our workforce. In 2015, 32% of Scottish employees were members of trade unions. Being a member of a trade union tends to benefit employees, but it benefits employers too. Evidence shows that unionised workplaces have more engaged staff and a higher level of staff training. They have a progressive approach to staff wellbeing, and in addition to the staff being better paid, that makes for a better and more productive workplace. Not only do unions challenge low pay, they challenge the gender pay gap too. So across the UK in 2015, employees who were trade union members earned on average 14% more than non-members. And that difference was more pronounced amongst women, who earned on average 24.6% more if they were a member of a trade union. That's why supporting and protecting unions is vital. I was appalled by the UK's government's Trade Union Act, which became law last year. I'm glad that the Scottish Government has made clear its opposition to this pernicious act. The Act seeks to undermine the role of trade unions in the labour market and make it easier for employers to undermine the rights of millions of workers who are currently represented by unions. It seeks to undermine the fundamental human right of employees to withdraw their labour, a right that's enshrined in a range of international conventions, such as the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the European Convention on Human Rights. It's an attack on those workers, and it will make it considerably more difficult for employees to have their voices heard. Thankfully, in this country, we have a Scottish Government that's working to take Scotland in a better direction, using the powers they have at their disposal to mitigate the damage from Tory government legislation, or where possible, alter the direction of travel. So I welcome the £2.2 billion that the Scottish Government has provided to support trade unions in accessing skills and lifelong learning opportunities that contribute to collective prosperity, to fairness and to equality for workers across Scotland. I look forward to the devolution of power over tribunals. I'd like more power over employment law to be devolved. The Scottish Government have said that they will abolish these tribunal fees. And since 2013, as others have said, when the tribunal fees were introduced, we've seen the number of claims being issued in the employment tribunal dramatically decline, almost definitely because of the prohibitive cost, which can be up to £1,200 a case. Yes.
Liam Kerr.
I'd just like to develop that point. Marie Todd, are you able to tell us what proportion of the reduction in tribunal claims is a function of the introduction of tribunal fees, and what is a function of the introduction of mandatory ACAS conciliation?
Marie Todd.
There's certainly a correlation between the introduction of a charge, and there's no doubt, there's absolutely no doubt that the Act introduced last year is an attack on workers' rights. I also welcome the further £250,000 that's been invested in the Trade Union Modernisation Fund to support the modernisation of trade unions and to help mitigate the negative impacts of UK legislation. Though, as is always the case when it comes to mitigating Tory government legislation, it is deeply disappointing to me that it's even necessary to do so. We need to understand and commit to the idea of fair work and not let the Tories take us along in their pursuit of deregulation and low wages, particularly post-Brexit. And I agree with the Labour amendment. All EU-derived workplace laws must be fully protected post-Brexit. In order to do that, we've got the Fair Work Framework, which sets out 5 conditions for a fairer working environment to provide opportunity, security, fulfilment, respect, and an effective voice to workers. We've seen a dramatic rise in in-work poverty since the Tories and the Lib Dems went into government in 2010. But where employees have greater job security and sufficient income, fewer people have to turn to welfare, and the country benefits from increased tax revenues. This makes economic sense. When employees have fulfilling work, it gives them greater self-worth and a sense of purpose, which improves both physical and mental health. Where employees have an effective voice, it can improve workplace relationships, creating a positive work environment, which feeds into productivity and the well-being of employees. Everyone would want those things from their own work, to value your work, to feel valued yourself, to feel secure in your job and to feel that you have a voice and to have the opportunity to grow and develop through work. Those are things we all want. So I think that ambition for workers in Scotland to have all of those things is right, and I think it should be shared by all of us. The Scottish Government have endorsed the Fair Work framework, and I hope that over the coming years we are able to take that forward, and unions will play a strong role in doing that. I'll just finish by mentioning a meeting I had recently with a group of Norwegian trade unionists. Their catchword was cooperation. Workers in Norway are recognised as essential to the success of enterprise, so management and workers cooperate to improve their businesses. I have to say it's not the only time I felt a great sense of admiration for the Scandinavians. I'm sure we in this chamber are all keen to work together in partnership to fulfil the ambitions of the Fair Work framework and to provide secure and meaningful work for employees in Scotland.
I call Mike Rumbles to be followed by Christina